The following podcast does have an explicit tag, and boy, have we earned the right to use it.
One, two, three into the four. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the...
You are listening to Not Another Atheist Podcast. I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this because my voice really isn't that sexy, but I'm Keith, and I'm as always joined by...
You really don't.
Aw, come on, baby.
See, now that's kind of sexy. I like that.
Yeah, sadly I haven't mastered doing that voice with any other phrases, so anything else just kind of comes out like...
The Seymour Isaac Hayes voice.
Oh, yeah, chef. Yeah, I should totally do that one.
Chef. Salty balls.
And the chocolate ring.
I was suddenly reminded of the Sweaty Balls skit from SNL for some reason. I have no idea why.
Yeah. So, yes, listeners, apologies abound. We are a week late in releasing this. We should have recorded.
Oh, everyone, this is Jen. Hi, how you doing?
I already introduced you.
No, you didn't. You didn't say my name out.
Yes, I did. You were just talking.
Like usual.
Oh, well, what are you going to do? No, so... next week I was supposed to be a release week, but since I am not in town, I let it slide.
And since next week is Battle of the Bastards, and I'm gonna take a battle week to recover from that.
Yeah, so while I'm drinking my face off in Mexico, Jen is gonna be busy dealing with a very special day.
Pulling her fucking hair out.
Pulling her hair out on a very special day in her life.
Battle of the Bastards, Jon Snow is finally coming to retake Winterfell from the Boltons. They said that this is the most expensive and the most most lengthy shot that they've had to do yet in the series. Anyone that follows the series, like Hardhome was amazing, Battle of the Blackwater the CGI was incredible. They submitted their Emmy docket, I guess it's called, this year. They actually did special effects for this, and it's like blood pouring out of mouths and scars and cuts and bleeding everywhere. And I'm like, yes! Yes! Let me see someone fuck someone up. I want to see someone fuck someone up. And then the following week after this is the final episode of the season of Game of Thrones, and I'm very sad about that. Next season will only be 8 episodes. The season after that, I think they said was 6 or 7.
Oh.
And then it's over.
How many episodes is in an average season?
10.
Oh, interesting.
But I guess, the quality... Man, I don't want to be this person, but the quality of some of the storylines has significantly decreased since they don't have a book to go off of. And I'm sorry, but the writing for last week, and I was shocked. I was not pleased with how last week's was done. So they better give me some fucking bleeding bastards to make up for this shit. They better give me fucking R plus L equals J on episode 10 to make up for it.
You know, the more that we do this podcast and the more we spend like the first 5 minutes listening to you talk about, you know, what's been going on in Game of Thrones, I can't help but wonder if there is like an actual Game of Thrones podcast out there. Can you guys...
There's a ton of that. There's a ton of that.
Can you guys reach out and get Jen involved, because she's going crazy and I can only pretend to be interested in that
Winds
show.
of Westeros and Radio Westeros, and there's a ton of them. You know, and I probably should approach these people, because I am like a walking fucking Game of Thrones encyclopedia.
See,
like, I'm screaming, how did you kill the Blackfish off screen? You fucking people didn't do shit!
See, and I like Star Wars, but I don't really sit here and tell you all about it every week.
Because I don't care.
Wait, and I care about Game of Thrones?
Because you know you could talk over me and I'm still going to talk about it.
Yeah, it's true. Joys of...
And Game of Thrones is actively ongoing. Game of Thrones is actively ongoing, so there is new content and new material.
Motherfucker, if I wanted to, I could probably go into Star Wars lore and do a podcast every week on something. I mean, I'm not gonna, because I've got a lot of other things I need to do with my time, but...
I was gonna say maybe we should do that. Like you do a Star Wars podcast
God.
with Star Wars people, and I do a Game of Thrones podcast with Game of Thrones people too. And
Oh Lord.
we do this one, and we just fucking take over podcasting.
We are slowly gonna branch out.
That's our plan for world domination, people.
I have no idea who's the #1 podcast in the world, but we're coming for you.
Yes, we are.
We're coming for you.
I will dazzle everyone with my Jon Snow and Targaryen knowledge.
The more you know.
And Tully knowledge. I am surprisingly one of the few fans that actually took an interest in the Tully branch and knows way more than I should about it.
Fantastic. But we can only delay the inevitable for so long before we kind of actually have to deal with the topics at hand. So tonight's going to be just another short show. We're going to try keeping her under an hour. We'll see how well that goes, because you know how much this, how this ramble cast without a cause likes to go. So we're going to cover 2 news stories, and if you haven't heard of them, then you probably live under a rock, because these are stories from the everywhere.
You live in Westeros, beyond the wall.
Stop that. But we're going to talk about some things that, you know, maybe aren't quite making the big podcast news or, you know, the mainstream media, because, you know, why would they care? So, we've all heard about the Stanford rapist, you know, the overindulged prick whose only crime was just wanting a piece of ass. You know how it goes. Frat boy athlete goes out, gets drunk, rapes an unconscious girl.
AKA the family that I would be completely okay with wiping out, the entire family line. I would be totally okay with literally wiping out any chance of that family line to propagate ever again.
But I mean, you know, there's an unconscious girl, so clearly she's not going to say no. You know, we've all been there, right? Except that, I'm assuming nobody hearing these words has ever actually been in the situation where they're forcing their pork sword into a girl while she's passed out just to get their rocks off. So let's just keep moving on.
And if you are, we are not a fan of you. I don't give a shit if we lose you as a reader, as a listener. I don't fucking care. I don't care. If you were that kind of fucking person, I don't give a shit about you, and I hope you die slowly, starting with the slow burn of your dick. Okay. Now we've got that off my chest.
You know what would really terrify me is if suddenly we started getting like 0 listens every week just because we told them to fuck off. Like, what would that tell you about us? That would just affect my.
I would really start to question my views if people like that were agreeing with me.
No kidding. But so as the story goes, you know, this little shit, he's been getting handouts left and right. It took harassment from the media to get his actual mugshot released, not just the preppy schoolboy picture used by the media to try to, you know, garner sympathy for him, or downplay the disgusting crime that he committed. And then, of course, the judge hands him the legal equivalent of a feather slap on the wrist. For his sentence, I think it was he should be facing at least 14 years, but they were talking about a few months.
I think it was 14 or 15 years he should be facing. He only got 6 months, and he will most likely be out in 3 months on good behavior. Right. If somebody doesn't kill him first.
And that's to, you know, impact his. That's because they don't want to impact his potential career as an athlete. You know, how dare his life.
Which already happened, because it's something like the U.S. Swimming Association or something. The body that is in charge of all competitive swimming in the United States, to include Olympic qualifiers, has banned him for life.
Good.
So good. Might as well sit in jail, homeboy.
Yeah. So the judge is going easy on him. My antivirus software is popping up because it's great. And Daddy Dearest thinks this 20 minutes of action shouldn't merit years of repercussions for, you know,
20 minutes of action.
The assault on another human being.
An unconscious woman.
No, you know what? That's totally sound logic. I mean, you know, the rape was only a few minutes, so clearly, like, if she's still upset about it, she needs to just get over it and stop harassing him with it, right?
Oh yeah.
No.
Just get over it and stop harassing him about it. Because, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's now he has
because she shouldn't be drinking and he's a man.
Exactly, and you know, his career could be ruined. So, I mean, how dare she think that her bodily autonomy be worth ruining the career of this promising young shithead?
Exactly. Oh god.
I know, but
I want to fucking vomit.
But because these stories just don't get any better ever,
Because, channeling fucking Billy Mays here. But wait, there's more.
But as it turns out, Mummy's now coming to his rescue, Mummy. She's written a letter outlining what a wonderful little person Fuckstick McGee actually is. I'm not going to go through the whole letter because it turns out it's about 4 pages. So we're going to go through the article that I
we're just going to touch on some highlights on it.
Yeah, the ones from the article. By the way, I don't know if anybody has seen his mugshot, but in his eyes, I see a mixture of apathy and fear. Apathy because he's just emotionally disconnected, doesn't think he's done anything wrong, and fear for the fact that he knows what's going to happen to him in prison is a lot worse than what he did to this girl, because he's probably going to be conscious.
Pound Town. He's going to Pound Town.
And, as per our Jared discussion, I'm not going to sit here and condone it, because we shouldn't.
He is...
But that's a reality he's facing. He is going to federal pound me in the ass prison.
The correction... No, not federal. He would be going to state. But he's going to the state corrections department. Yeah, it's state and federal different charges. Anyway. He's going to the state correctional facility of Pound Town, ladies.
I like it. So... in this article,
Keith's getting drunk.
Yeah, but this stuff kind of tastes like nail polish remover, so we'll see how long it lasts.
And you're still drinking it.
Okay. I know, isn't it? It's amazing what you do when you're drinking, what you're willing to put up with. So apparently,
or the things you're willing to put up with because you drink.
Touche.
Ah.
Or the level of self-hatred you're willing to go through is evident by actually reading these stories and sit here and having to face the reality that
and
is
needing
society
to drink?
operates on these levels. Yeah, so...
And needing to drink.
So, starting off, apparently he was in Cub Scouts in grade school. He helped sell popcorn and, decided he was going to be top seller. It was really important that,
and Mommy and Daddy made him knock on doors because they wanted him to learn what the value of hard work was. So they wouldn't distribute the school fundraiser pages at their job. They made him knock on doors for it.
And he even, wooed some 90-year-old lady into buying some, even though she couldn't eat it, but she was impressed that he took the time to sit with her on her front porch and talk to her. That's the kind of kid he was.
And I'm sure if she
very
said no,
and polite.
I'm sure if he said no, if she said no, he would have cracked her over the head and raped her.
Oh, I thought he would have just cracked her over the head and poured popcorn down her throat because, really, 6-year-olds don't know what rape is. I'm pretty sure that's all that would have mattered to him anyways is, damn, bitch, I got your money. But anyways, so, yes, we have it on very good authority that he is so respectful and polite. And my God, what the hell is going on my computer tonight?
Because Mommy
I've got another app that's decided it's going to start opening. I got to get my...
Keith is frozen again because his computer does not want to fucking cooperate.
Yeah. This is great. So, the elementary school put on several programs over the years, such as a musical, and his class did Oliver, and he was chosen to play Bill Sikes. I don't know the play, so I'm just kind of going off of what's said in the article.
Yes.
He was supposed to play the bad guy, but he wouldn't stop smiling. The teacher told him he's supposed to be mean, but Brock just couldn't act mean, and that's just him, a nice guy, or a creepy fucking rapist.
Or because of the fact that he enjoyed playing this fucking asshole so much that he got joy in acting like that. Which is why he couldn't stop smiling, because he's this piece of shit rapist.
Yeah. But it's really kind of... Oh, God, what the fuck is wrong with my computer? It's moving so slow. I'm trying to scroll through the damn... article.
Let's get into the decorating. Let's do the decorating. And the amount of emotional trauma that Mommy has to go through because she cannot decorate her new home.
Oh, yeah. Wow, you actually beat me to it. I was just trying to get that paragraph to load, so good job. Yeah, she's so distraught every day she wakes up going, this isn't real. This can't be real. Why him? Why him? Why? Not, how could my son do this to somebody? How could somebody's life be so negatively impacted by my son?
The mother of a son, I can understand the why him in the sense of what did I do wrong that would make him think that this was appropriate.
That I can explain.
It wouldn't be a why him, why is he the victim? It would be what did I do wrong by him that makes him think that this is appropriate behavior towards another human being.
And
that would be the only why him I can think of.
All jokes aside, it is so tough to say what Mummy could have actually done wrong, because for all we know, she was actually a pretty decent mother, and this is her way of dealing.
Or even what did I expose him to? Even if I did everything right, what did I expose him to that would make him think that this was appropriate behavior?
Bingo. But it's just the emphasis on, I can't hang happy family photos because we'll never be happy again. Those happy family ties are gone. Except...
Yeah, okay. Let me break this down for everyone. She's saying that she cannot decorate her home because she puts up family photos like most of us do. I have them in my living room with me, my mother, and my son.
I put up family photos. They're just of other people's families. Is that okay?
It is a little creepy, but I can get the attraction. Anyway. And they're happy photos, and, we're happy. And she's saying that because her son, not because her son committed this crime, but because her son was convicted of this crime and has to register as a sex offender and do time in jail, that her family will never be happy again. And she cannot hang up pictures of a once happier time because every time she looks at those pictures, it kills her to think what has happened to her son.
Of course, completely forgetting, well, what the hell? What's going on with this girl?
I don't, man. Alright, she's a woman. How could you be so fucking disconnected from yourself and your body and your own fucking autonomy that you're like, oh no, this is totally cool, he's the victim, we're the victims now. And I guarantee you his mother's one of those fucking bitches that every time you start a fucking argument with her, she cries. You know what I'm talking about? Like, when she can't win her way out of an argument, she just bursts into tears and all of a sudden she's the victim. You know the motherfuckers. I can't fucking stand arguing with fucking people like that. And I know a few. But how are you so disconnected from yourself as a woman, for a woman that carried children that could see exactly what a woman's body can do? And how... And I don't want to single out and say that women's bodies are a higher standards than men, but just the absolute fucking miracles that can come out of a woman's body and what it's capable of and how sacred it should be to you. How are you so disconnected from that you can't see the real victim, the rape victim side of this? And they found pine needles in this woman's vagina.
Those don't get there by accident. That's...
No,
either
they found actual pine needles in this.
That only gets up there two ways. One, she's really into bears, or two, she was raped.
How could you be this disconnected as a woman? And like I said, I'm the mother of a son. This is one of maybe three things in life that I would probably look at my son and say, I'm fucking done with you. Because I could never physically look at him. That he would be a monster to me. He would be an absolute monster to me that he violated somebody like this. This I think this would be one of 3 instances, maybe 4, where I would look at my son and be like, I'm fucking done with you. I'm not visiting you in jail. I hope they fucking lock you up for 50 fucking years. You're a piece of shit. I think this would be 1 of 4 instances. Murder's questionable. So it's what did the other person do? Maybe I can see his point of view. Rape, child abuse, child molestation can kind of fall into rape as well. And not taking care of your kids. Or beating the person you're with, putting hands on the person, or abusing the person you're with. Those are the 4 things that I would completely cut my son off for. If fucking murder is questionable, because hey, we've all been there. You'd look at the person and go, okay, they're in for murder, but
we've all been cut off in traffic.
We've all had that one motherfucker in our lives. Anyway, but oh my god, I would be so physically disgusted with my son that my skin would physically move sitting in front of him if he ever did something like this. And if I ever found out that my son raped a woman, let alone unconscious, I don't even think he would be alive for a court date. Like I said, this is one of those times where murder is questionable.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be alive to see the sentencing. Or if anything, I would have called the cops on him myself. I've been like, fucking take him. Take him right to the state correctional institution of fucking Pound Town and let him see how it is.
Yeah, I haven't looked too deeply into the mother, but she sounds like a bit of a piece of work here. And
she's
obviously distraught, and as most mothers would be, to find out that their son is an absolute piece of fucking scum.
No, there's one of two ways that this goes for me, and they're both very extreme ends of the spectrum. Either she's a complete piece of entitled affluenza shit, and it's like, not my baby, we're too good for this, or she's been raised or been in a situation where she's been beaten down so much that she feels that she's not worth anything.
Yeah.
She was raised in a home that women didn't say boo and never turned down their men, and then married a man like that. And maybe, she's a victim of abuse, and this is why she reacts like this. She could also be like that affluenza teen's mother who, like, let him drink and then ran off to Mexico with him. She could just be that kind of entitled piece of shit. Either which way, it's either I have absolute disgust for her, absolute sympathy.
It is so tough to say. So let's continue on with this. Yeah, the verdict was awful, horrible, terrible, and gut-wrenching and life-changing. So that's, what a broken heart feels like, to hear that your son's going to actually have to fucking pay for a crime he committed. And the verdict destroyed them. He's now shattered and broken shell of the person he used to be.
Then he shouldn't be sticking his dick in unconscious women. What about the victim? What about the victim that's going to have to go through way more than 3 months of fucking therapy? Just before she stops looking at men like they're monsters.
But Jen, it was only 20 minutes of action.
Oh yeah, 20 minutes of action. It's going to take this woman 20 fucking years to make her skin stop crawling, at minimum, when she looks at herself in a mirror.
But
it's going to take probably longer than that for her to ever really trust another man again.
But what's really important is that he's crushed that the jury found him guilty of, a crime he fucking committed.
And I'm sure he was so much more crushed that he was found guilty of a rape he committed than she was when she woke up in the hospital to find pine needles in her vagina and to be told that she was raped. This victim is so fucking classy that she's refusing to have her name released because she doesn't want to single herself out, and she wants to be something that all rape victims can identify with, so that she's not an individual, she's all of them.
Damn.
But mommy can't hang fucking pictures.
And that's what matters.
Tell me, mommy, how about the money you saved from the nails and the spackle in the wall? Are you going to put that towards the victim's therapy? Towards her AIDS test that she has to take for a fucking year every 3 months now? Are you going to do that? Are you going to put all that money that you're saving and decorating, how are you going to put that towards helping the victim? The actual victim and not your son, who can't swim anymore?
But it's what really matters is that people send him messages so that he understands his life still has meaning, and that people believe in him. And, he needs hope, because his life is forever impacted and drastically altered by the ramifications of these guilty verdicts. Ohio is one of the strictest states with the sexual offender registry. He will have to register at the highest tier, which means he is on the same level as a pedophile child molester. Good. There is no differentiation. Please be kind and merciful to her son. He is suffering and will continue to pay for this.
There is a differentiation. There is a differentiation.
I was just reading her words.
But I'm saying there's tier levels, and he's going to go on down as a tier 3. But when he searched, it gives you like adult victim, rape, like it'll break it down. So there's a difference. People will allow their children to play in the front yard when he's living next door, but they're not going to let their teenage daughters walk past his house.
especially not, when they've been drinking or in back alleys.
Yeah, behind dumpsters.
So,
and can we just give props to the two men that stopped him? Can we give massive fucking props?
Why aren't their faces and names put out
just
to understand?
Why is my feed being splattered with this? And he's got that "you touch me, my daddy'll sue" look about him.
Oh, he so
what I'm
does.
About? He's got that "I wear boat shoes and khaki cargo shorts
and polo shirts
look about him
with my sweater.
Yeah, why is his fucking face appearing all over my feed and not the men that saved that? Why I can't even say saved, but stopped him.
Yeah, they got her out of that situation. They're the only.
They did. They approached him. They physically approached him.
And
they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
In all honesty, I have to give these guys major props because, in all honesty, if I had to come across something like that, I can't say that it would have let him live. I can't say that it would have let him walk away.
They could have gotten themselves killed as well. They could have been really fucking hurt. They didn't know what they were coming up against.
But they went in and the real MVPs.
Those fucking guys are here, yeah, for real. The real MVPs are the two men that stepped up for her in a beautiful way.
So we want to reach out, give a special thanks to those gentlemen. You guys have showed.
Hold on. Let me Google that. Well, no, we're gonna Google their name.
All right. Because if they ever hear this, I want them to know that we think that these are fine. Wow, I'm really sucking wind of this. No. If they should ever hear this, we want them to know that they do have friends out there. They do have people who...
They are Swedish, so they very well may be atheists that listen to us. We don't know.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Considering the high atheist population in Sweden.
Yeah, we do have
Their
Swedish
names are
listeners.
Carl Frederick Arndt, and Peter Johnson. You men are absolutely fucking phenomenal, and you're actual fucking heroes, and thank you.
More people should take a page out of their book.
Absolutely. Be a fucking decent human being.
This girl, according to the article, this girl has been sleeping with pictures of bicycles above her bed to remind her of these two men who saved her. So.
And you see that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So, gentlemen, you fucking rock and keep doing it.
Yeah, let's end this on a positive note and fucking thank these two gentlemen that stopped us before it could have gotten worse.
Absolutely. So, now that we've moved on from that delightfully depressing fucking story, we're gonna move on.
We're gonna move on to another delightfully depressing story.
We're gonna talk about a depressing story, but we're gonna try putting and people might think it's weird for us to say, we're gonna try putting a more positive spin on it hear me out.
I'm sorry. Two of my friends knew one of the victims, so there's no way that I can put a positive.
Not even if I told you we get to take stabs at the Westboro Baptist Church.
Sorry. Keith is frozen again because his computer is...
That is the worst time for your computer to have frozen on me. You know that?
Music while we wait for him to come back. Here he is.
Seriously, your computer paused right as soon as I said that, and I was all like, how's she going to react? Is she going to go, well...
Wait, what did you say?
I said we get to make fun of the Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh, there's a silver lining in everything, isn't there?
I hate to link their blog. I kind of almost want to just screen cap it because I really...
Yeah, let's do that because I don't want any more clicks going to these people, so we're just going to screen cap it.
We'll screen cap it and attach it to the episode.
Yeah, because I don't want any kind of publicity on these fucking pieces of shit.
According to these wonderful human beings, God sent the Orlando nightclub shooter, and your gay pride and prayers only make it worse. So, gay pride and prayers are only making it worse. So there you have it.
And here, wait, I gotta pull up this article because they're quoting Bible scripture like they always do. This is. Where is it?
I'm looking right at it.
They are actually quoting as Luke 13, "Suppose ye that these people from Orlando were sinners above all Americans, because they suffered such things? I tell you, nay, except ye repent, ye shall all likewise perish." I wasn't aware that America and Orlando even existed during the biblical era.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I guess America really is a Christian nation.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, so they of course, as they always do, they spit out a bunch of Bible verses to try to justify. They cherry pick. They grab one verse, take it out of context, put it into their own context, and use it to justify their hatred and bigotry. Hence their website name, God Hates Fags. So the first one they cite is Micah 6:9. "The Lord's voice crieth unto the city, and the man of wisdom shall see thy name. Hear ye the rod, and who hath appointed it?" So, apparently, yes, we can hear rods, which I'm only able to assume is a euphemism for penis, since many things in the Bible are.
I never thought to put that together.
Yeah, I saw rod and I went, phrasing. But, yeah.
Hear ye the rod. So how do we know that Pulse nightclub wasn't an actual biblical gathering of hearing the rod, since it was a gay club?
What if a loud gay man's name was Rod, and he happened to be very well endowed, and his name became the Rod amongst his social circles? So, okay.
Exactly. So that could be it.
Rod, we hear you loud and clear, buddy. Like, this might be one of the few dick pics I would be okay with being sent to me unsolicited, just to see what that looks like.
Absolutely. If there is a man out there named Rod with a giant fucking penis, please, I will fucking email the show. I will give you my personal email account. I would appreciate seeing this dick pic.
The only thing I think that could make that nickname better is if he called himself Lightning Rod.
Ooh.
I know.
I might suggest sleeping with him then. Anyway.
He makes you feel tingly.
Before we bore the shit out of you with like 10 fucking Bible verses and shit, they're pretty much saying that God, their Christian God, sent the shooter into the Pulse nightclub because he was cleansing this earth of the sodomites.
And here's my little question on that flawed sense of logic. There are millions, if not billions, possibly a billion gay people on the planet, and I'm sorry, but they're all committing gay acts, gay thoughts, and we all know that he who hath lusted after his neighbor's wife has already committed the sin of adultery, so we can extrapolate that out to say, who should ever think of having sex with a member of the same gender, or same sex, whichever.
Well, what he's also saying is that June is notorious for pride parades. It's Pride Month.
Well, it's the summer. Assless chaps are no fun to wear in winter, I tell you that.
Actually, no. If I gotta check something. Hold on. Stonewall. I can never remember the actual date of the Stonewall riots. The Stonewall riots
69.
were June 28th, 1969.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to point out 69. No, that's bad. Too soon. Too soon. I apologize.
The Pride Parade was started as a protest against the Stonewall riots. They've actually
it was a police protest.
The Stonewall riots were the first Pride Parade. Keith's frozen again, ladies and gentlemen. I can't hear what he's saying. Dude, there he is. Okay.
Police protest.
It's to honor the Stonewall riots in New York City, which was, if you're not familiar with what the Stonewall riots were, in New York City at that time, it was illegal for gay people to converge together and drink together, and the cops came into the bar and tried to break it up and tried to arrest people on the crime of homosexuality, which back then it was a crime to be homosexual.
Punishable by death?
Punishable by, I think it was like a fine or some shit like that.
Well, it's good, because if you send them to all the prison, then eventually you're just going to have them all in one place.
I'm really not too versed in it, but they're, and these people protested being arrested, and they beat people and killed people and shot people over it. So June being Pride Month in the Pride Parades is to commemorate the heroes of the Stonewall riots. And what the Westboro Baptist Church is saying is that people that are attending Pride Parade and praying for the victims of the Orlando shooting are not only committing sodomy, but they're in they're also committing the sin of false prayer, because they're not allowed to pray for a God that they sin against by being sodomites.
So
yeah.
So back to my
can't win them, can't lose them, ladies and gentlemen.
Back to my little bit on their logic is, if you think it, you have done it. Bullshit. If you even so much get curious as to what it might feel like to take that man's 10-inch black cock up your ass, you have committed a very
every day. Anyway.
Jen, you would never be constipated again. At your size, you poor little woman.
Every day.
So then you've already basically committed homosexuality. So let's extrapolate that out. Most of us have at least entertained a thought on, I wonder what it might be like.
But it's not even distinct to hold on. It's not even distinct to homosexuality. They're specifically calling them sodomites. Sodomy is anything that pretty much isn't
missionary.
Dick vagina sex.
No, isn't missionary. Missionary is the only acceptable position.
If you've ever put a dick in your ass, if you've ever thought about putting a dick in your ass, if you've ever sucked a dick, if you've ever fantasized about sucking a dick, it doesn't fucking matter if you're straight, genderqueer, no gender, no identification, bisexual, it doesn't matter. If you've ever thought about putting a dick in your mouth, you are a sodomite.
Okay, so we got billions upon billions of people who are homosexuals by extrapolation of the Bible's logic. Why isn't God killing everybody? Like, why is he only sending a gunman after 103 people?
I think their logic and reasoning to that is it's God sending a message to help people repent.
That's
so that
really
he doesn't have to kill them, and
foggy message.
And he's killing people to make people realize that he's unhappy and his wrath is coming down. So this is what can happen. So let's save yourself and pray the gay away and
because
pray
that
the
always
sucking
works.
away and
That's
the logic. That's the reasoning, is that he's trying to warn humanity by committing these smaller, I guess, cleansings is what you can call it.
Evidently, I don't think it's working out very well. I think it's having the opposite effect.
No, I don't think it's working out really well. But this is the same God that tells you, and this is what fucking kills me. The Westboro Baptist Church does not say that they're distinctly Catholic. They say they're Christian. And here's a distinct difference with that. Catholics follow the entire Bible.
Not apparently.
They take both of the lessons of. Well, they're supposed to.
Allegedly, the Old Testament was wiped out. Allegedly.
No, this is Christians. Those are Christians. What for Catholics, the Bible, the Old Testament, is supposed to teach you of a wrathful God and what he can be capable of doing. But after the New Testament, it's pretty much, just how much he can love you, and love was brought on by his son. Christians, on the other hand, pretty much negate the entire fucking Old Testament and say it doesn't count. Yet they still quote shit from Leviticus about homosexuality and everything else, which is located in the Old Testament.
And Matthew 5:18 has Jesus saying that he did not come to abolish the old laws, but to uphold them. So there's that little bit of logic.
So yeah. So which one is it?
So there's the
and that's the difference. Catholicism is kind of all-encompassing, but Christianity are followers of Christ. So it goes from when he appeared in the Bible, which is the New Testament. So it's pretty much God is that guy that really kind of partied hard, and he was kind of a dick, and then he had kids, and he turned into this totally cool dad. We all have that friend that was the total party animal, and he was really arrogant, and he was kind of an asshole, and then he got married and had kids, and it was total 180, and he's an awesome fucking dude now. That's pretty much what God is to these people.
Oh, yeah, so in their article they cite Amos 4:11-12, where they say, "Yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Lord, therefore prepare to meet thy God," which is basically, your whole little bit about, instead of actually, sending a real message, he's just sending little messages instead of
Post-its.
He's sending a post-it instead of leaving a big old horse head in your bed.
He's sending post-its.
Yeah.
He's sending post-its.
Oh, hey.
And I mean, there's the fundamental question of You're not supposed to act as God. Your God is your God, and you're not supposed to pass judgment on people because that is God's job. So aren't you committing a sin yourself by casting judgment on these people and what you perceive to be their sinful lifestyle?
Wah, wah.
What's up? What's up? Like, what made you? What makes these people think that their God is all encompassing and they're the higher power? But what makes them think that they are on the same exact level as Him? That they have the right to cast judgment and take the lives of people, of God's other children, where it clearly expresses that no one should pass judgment other than thy God.
Because it's easy
Not
to
even
impose
Jesus.
your morality on your
Not
own
even Jesus
right.
could pass judgment. Not even Jesus was able to pass judgment. That was left up to God. So what would your God think when you get to fucking heaven? And He sits down and takes a look at you and says, I hear you like doing my job. That's pretty much saying that you know everything the CEO of your company does. And you're trying to run your shit just like him and trying to act just like him to fellow co-workers. What do you do when the CEO sits you down and goes, I hear you trying to be me?
Your ass is fired, motherfucker.
What the fuck do you do then? How the fuck do you explain? If we have believers that are listening, how the fuck do you explain to your God that you felt you granted yourself the rights and ability of your God to pass judgment on these people?
See, it's part of that humble arrogance that we see so often in this, well, God's gonna smite you. Well, okay, so... sorry, I lost my...
Says fucking who?
It's just fucking stupid.
Says, no, God's gonna smite you. You're not in a position to judge that. It's supposed to be your God that's supposed to pass His judgment on me. Now, let's address the giant elephant dildo in the fucking room here. You've got, and maybe not so much the Westboro Baptist Church because they feel that Muslims are killing soldiers in the Middle East because God's mad at the gays or whatever the fuck He's mad at this week.
Totally.
You've got these Christians that are fucking convinced that another crusades are coming. Except this time it's the Muslims that are coming after them. And that are condemning Islam and they're condemning Muslims and this is not a religion of peace, blah, 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 blah. This is violent. My God is better than yours. My imaginary friend is more majestic than yours is. Whatever. Meanwhile, they both fucking rock the same beard. Whatever. Anyway. They're both rocking the same beard.
One does have Jerry Cools, though.
Anyway.
Jerry Cools.
Now, how can you sit there and go against this person's religion yet praise his actions that it came from your God all at the same time? No, this man clearly stated that he felt this was an act of Allah. Not God, not Jesus, this was an act of Allah.
And I know there are others who are going to come in and say, well, he was doing this, he was doing that, he wasn't a real Muslim for this, that, and this, and it wasn't religiously motivated, blah, blah, blah. We're not getting into that right now.
I'm not getting into that. I'm not going to sit here and say that this was Islam. No, I'm not going to say that. This was a man who took scripture and perverted it to his own agenda.
Which many of them are wont to do.
Exactly. Now, I grew up in a very Afghan-heavy neighborhood growing up, so I know that, quote-unquote, not all Muslims, that's the popular thing to say now is, not all stick this group of people in there. Anyway, how are you going to sit here now and say, oh, well, it's all the same God? No, according to the Quran, Allah and God are very different. They're two separate entities. Mary is mentioned in the Quran. Jesus is mentioned in the Quran. They acknowledge the Christian God in the Quran. So how can you sit here and talk against their God when you're praising this man for carrying out orders that he says comes from him from a false God? How could you sit here and say that Allah is a false God, but then turn around and say that this man receives orders from God? How?
Through a lot of...
So Christians
reasoning.
Are basically saying what atheists have been saying all along is that Allah is make-believe. And he's just crazy and got his orders from an invisible God.
Oh, Allah
let's
is nuts.
look at the law.
Allah is nuts.
I think he's kind of like God's like the brother that was like older and he was more responsible, and he was kind of the great, the star student, and Allah was like the younger brother that was kind of wild. You know how that family dynamic always works out. I think that's the kind of relationship I see it as. God was the star quarterback brother and always did well in school, and he was kind of quiet, but he was a vicious drinker and he was angry as hell when he was drinking. Allah was the wild and out of control brother
who did
that
meth?
got really nice when he drank. He was that brother.
Your logic is interesting.
Yeah, I know.
So,
That's my logic. So it's like, how are you going to sit here and say he came down on orders from God when the God that he states the orders came down from, you say don't exist? It doesn't exist. I shouldn't say don't exist. That was crude as hell.
It is very much backwards reasoning. I mean,
you're sitting there and you're saying that my
God stepped in place of his God and told him to do that. Which, at that point, you're really just kind of pushing the goalposts to the point where anything is possible.
It totally negates the entire fucking manifesto that this man went out.
It's basically they're saying, well, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, even though I think he's full of shit and that he's going to burn in hell, but that's okay, I won't tell him
until I get bored with that enemy, and then you're my enemy again.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I really think these fucking people think the Crusades are coming again.
Yeah, they do.
Really fucking think that. It's like, dude, we are way too technologically advanced for this shit to happen.
Yes.
There's way too much social media for some shit like the Crusades to go down.
We can only hope. But let's move on.
Instagram. We'll fucking end the Crusades. How? Because you go through things you might like, and, there's a Christian guy, and there's a hot Muslim girl, and there you go. He's, sorry. No, we have way too much social media for the fucking Crusades to pop up again.
Yes.
I do have a very strange logic, you're right.
Yeah, so we're going to move on now. So, because of
I just realized how absolutely fucking crazy I sound, okay.
No, I've been saying that for years, but okay. Anyways, so, the gays, they're very proud, they're very proud and they're sinning against God, but they were, their night of, as they put it, unabashed proud sinning against God, it was interrupted. And of course, because they're dumb gays and they've got so many dicks everywhere, they just can't quite hear the message. They haven't repented. The writer of this article hopes that a Soul or Two would repent, but the answer is, of course, no, they haven't repented. And according to the writer of this article, the gays will come up with every excuse and every reason to say that the sovereign God in heaven did not do this thing. So these people will do everything that you can think of to do in response to the situation, except just repent, because repenting is the only logical response to getting shot at. Then they go into Jeremiah, and this is my favorite verse that they quote, and you'll understand why as soon as I read it.
God, I hate when we quote Bible verses. I just want to fucking go to bed.
They quote Jeremiah. Cool, you can go to sleep after. They quote Jeremiah 13:23, which says, "Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good, that are accustomed to do evil." So there's your big black cock reference right there. It's basically saying, if you've got a big black cock fetish, you're always going to have a big black cock fetish. You can't change a static human being. Nobody ever changes. Nobody ever changes their mind, which really just kind of digging in their heels, and the no true Scotsman fallacy abound, because any Christian who becomes an atheist was never a Christian, and holy shit, this is just a great big black hole of shitty logic.
Oh my god, this is like a constant fucking loop. It's like it never fucking ends.
Whoa!
I just realized how much that entire fucking argument loops around.
Circular reasoning, man. It's the ultimate in jingle keys. So, but instead of repenting, they pledge to continue, this is hilarious that they say this, flipping God off and incorporating so-called prayer and moments of silence in their June gay pride parades and other events. So even though they're proudly sinning in God's face, they're going to invoke prayer, adding their abomination of sodomy to the abomination of false prayer. Because, if you believe in God, you have to go all Old Testament on everybody's ass.
Because if you decide to kill two birds with one stone and start praying while you're down on your knees anyway, it's a fucking abomination.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be down on your knees, you may as well do something that feels good, right?
Exactly. Why can't God reward multitasking?
So,
I'm saying I pray multiple times when engaging in sodomizing sex. The words, oh God, oh Jesus, come out of my mouth numerous times. I'm multitasking.
So, their justification for calling this false prayer, of course, comes from Proverbs 28:9, where it says, "He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination." So the law, they don't say the word of God, they say the law. So the law says,
law.
gay people are human beings, but apparently turning away from the law for that law is okay, because that law allows people to be icky.
And I think that's what it comes down to. It's icky to them, so they have to make rules against it being icky.
Well, yeah, because it
makes them uncomfortable.
Without religion,
and it's like
the only thing to be homophobic about is that it is icky. You can't say it's not natural. We've documented it in how many species.
Right, and it's like, if we're gonna start banning things that are icky, can your God start working on like overly humid days and periods and ball sticking to legs and
yes,
let's do something.
Let's do
something productive.
Can he get rid
of? Oh my God.
That weird
monkey ass,
that weird funky smell that every guy's balls get when it's just way too hot. He hasn't had a chance to shower in a couple of hours, and it's getting so warm down there. He didn't wear the right underwear.
Women get the crotch rot too if we don't plan this shit, like the right underwear, breathable fabrics. We get the crotch rot too. Can we start using this for productive icky shit?
Can we end crotch rot? Like, that would be fantastic.
It actually can be eliminated, but you have to like wear certain breathable fabrics. Like, I know on super humid, super hot days, you will find me in a long skirt and 100% cotton panties, just because it allows things to breathe. Things that gotta breathe,
Good to know. Good to know. I mean, I'm not saying I'm about to buy 100% cotton panties, but I'm not about to say I'm not going to do that either.
They have 100% cotton boxers and boxer briefs and stuff.
Hallelujah. But I did, say that I wasn't going to deny that I was going to wear panties either. So,
or you can free ball it too. I mean,
oh yeah. But see, I can't do that in pants. I can't, because they'll either shift so they're down one leg and then they'll stick to that leg more, and it's so uncomfortable. And
because I was gonna say, women love some free ball and sweatpants, man. We love that shit.
See,
love that shit.
That would be great, except for it makes the ball stuck to
leg
syndrome so much worse. Yeah, that
really interesting.
Yeah. And for anybody who's ever watched 2.5 Men, the jingle, no matter how much you wiggle and dance, the last drop always ends up in your pants. Yeah. Well, if you're freeballing it, you really got to make sure that the last drop is as small as possible, because otherwise that runs down your leg, and that just feels weird.
Oh God! See, there's some days where I'm like, oh God, I want to be a man, and there's some days where I'm like, no, I just no.
And now you know.
And
yeah.
The more you know.
Actually, there was one thing that I had found that I did hope to go over, because it was a list of people who I want to say fuck you to for being such shitheads, and I have to find it because it is too good not to pick up. It's relevant to the shooting. Hang on, I'm stalling here and looking for time as I look for my saved links.
Oh, they have Dr. Pepper Cherry now. That sounds delicious.
You are like an amazing person when it comes to like distractions and segues. Okay, so it's this is something that I'll have to share. It's Thought Catalog. It is people applauding the Orlando Gay Club shooter. So, I've tried looking for a couple of these Twitter accounts. Some of them don't exist anymore. So I'm going to read the name that was attached to the Twitter account, not the handle, and then what they said. So number 1, Jonathan Howell said, Florida Pulse Gay Club attacked. I'm so happy someone decided to start shooting perverts instead of innocent people. Jonathan Howell, fuck you. Number 2, WNTN, yeah, there's really no way to get a kind of a name out of that, so we'll just call you WNTN or Wanton. 50 gay people died in a nightclub. That's what you call an effective shooting. Good shit. Gays don't deserve to live. Wanton? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh, so PKAY, or Peter Kawisi, I don't care,
I don't
says,
know. The paper's not in front of me.
the only good thing about the Orlando shooting is that it was a gay club, so less gays in the world today. Peter Kawisi,
Peter,
fuck you.
fuck you.
Number 4, Chisada Math. I wake up to some dude shooting up a gay nightclub. Isn't that weird? Homosexuality is condemned by God, so that's why he let that happen. People. Chisad, fuck you.
Fuck you, asshole.
Oh, hey, our friends, the Westboro Baptist Church, were listed on this one.
Alright.
Yeah, they tweeted out, God opened his army to deal with proud fag America. 20 dead in mass shooting at hashtag Orlando, quote, gay, unquote, nightclub.
Wait a minute. Doesn't an army consist of more than one person?
Shh, jingle the keys. that is by far one of my favorite distraction sayings ever. So, Westboro Baptist Church, thank you for keeping us laughing.
Yes, and it was 50 people, not 20. Like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think this tweet was sent out like first thing in the morning. So, and I do know.
Okay, before they had an accounting yet.
Yeah, at that point in time, like I know I had only seen 20 confirmed dead. So, but Westboro Baptist Church, ha ha ha, you're so hilarious. Number 6, Dala Islamia, fuck you. Anyways, said, I as an individual would congratulate and give thumb up to the brother who killed filthy gays at hashtag Orlando shooting. Dala, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Number 7, Don Juan, tweeting out of yeah, their ad says Jesus hates FLG. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. Says,
yeah, I'm gonna have to look up the FLG.
Man, I don't know what's better, that fact that gays were killed, or the fact that the killer was Muslim and a Democrat. Laughing cry, tears of laughter emoji times 3. Hashtag Orlando. Hashtag shooting. Don Juan, fuck you.
Fuck you. With a name like Don Juan, I guarantee you, he's like, let's build a wall too. With a name like Don Juan, guarantee you.
Yep.
Guarantee it.
Number 8, Drew on Facebook says, nothing wrong with shooting a few gays. Laughing tears emoji. Drew, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh, number 9 is a twofer. Isaac says, that is the right target for such shootings. Gays should be shot for disrespecting the natural order. And Hanif says, gay nightclub? Just disgusting, and I think that gunman done a good job. Grammar is terrible there, but okay.
Wow.
So, Isaac and Hanif, fuck you guys, not just for being homophobic
fuck
assholes, but for using bad grammar.
But not knowing how to pick up a fucking dictionary. Anyway.
Yeah. Khalid says, oh, this is number 10. Gay people are sick with a capital S. Khalid, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh, we're back to Twitter. Keeping it real. It's keeping with an apostrophe and not a G. Tweets at the Daily Mail and at Mail Online.
Epitome of scholarly intelligence.
I know. So they're tweeting at Daily Mail, at Mail Online. Okay. At least it was only gays. Not like they add anything to mankind, except disease. Bit of a non-story, really. Keeping it real. Fuck you, number 1, for being a trashy use of the English language. Number 2, for being a homophobic bigot. And number 3, for trying to disrespect my gay neighbors who have actually done a lot to increase my property value. Fuck you for being stupid.
Exactly.
Number 12.
I miss having gay neighbors.
Yeah. Jim has gay neighbors too. He tells me awesome stories about
and it would totally stop the crotch critter breeding process in this neighborhood.
Ugh, yeah.
Because I mean, when a gay couple adopts or when a gay couple does surrogacy, they like really fucking vet people and like they really look into the kids and they really, really evaluate their parenting choices and what kind of parents they want to be. They don't just fucking shoot out these little crotch critter rockets and just let them fucking roam the goddamn neighborhood screaming and yelling.
Well, no, that's because if you want to adopt, you actually have to want a fucking child. You do not spend tens of thousands of dollars just to get a kid to go.
Yeah, same thing goes for surrogacy.
Exactly. Go back to our list. Number 12, Vitor says, at least it was just gays this time and not innocent people. laughing, crying emoji ×2, hashtag pray for Florida. Vitor, fuck you. We're back to Facebook. Number 13, Alaruntoba, I don't know, says, the shooter is my hero. The cops should be sued for killing a hero who was doing social justice. I mean, since 80% of Americans no longer have brains to know that homosexuality is a great sin against God and every natural human law, let those who knows please buy guns and kill off any gay, lesbian, transgender, and their likes, including Bruce Jenner or whatever he calls himself now. May the soul of the shooter rest in perfect peace. Amen. And FYI, I am a Christian, not a Muslim, and my religion strongly condemns any acts of homosexuality. Okay, so all around Toba, I'm gonna say fuck you on a couple of different levels. One, what the fuck is up with
when
your
you're
name?
done with this, real quick, I have another crazy breaking news story out of Orlando when you're done with those.
What the fuck, Florida? So, fuck all around Toba for having a stupid fucking name. Number 2, run-on sentences. Number 3, space after a fucking comma. Number 3, just grammar in general. And number 4, fuck you for existing.
Yeah, and your shitty grammar and shitty typing.
Number 14, Michael on Facebook says, sinners being taken out.
How many there are these?
We got 2 more after this.
Okay.
So Michael says, sinners being taken out by sin. I'm assuming murder is the sin.
Yeah.
Owning a gun, because that's America right up in there. Yeah. So Michael, just fuck off.
Just you know what? Jump off the fucking bridge now, Michael. Okay, please, thanks.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Karen attempts to quote the Bible for number 15 by saying, "Man should not lie with another man as a woman. It is an abomination. This was God's hand, and he will pluck them away one by one. I have no judgment on what others do, but God does." This, I have so many different
That
ways.
sounds like a whole lot of fucking judgment there, Karen.
I'm working on one of my rants, and it actually covers this topic, so I look forward to going off on this bitch once more. So, Karen, fuck you for not knowing what capitals are, and fuck you in general.
God, okay, Karen, you know that little medicine cabinet that you keep the Vicodin in because you absolutely can't stand being a good Christian housewife and you have anxiety? Go in there and eat the fucking bottle. Thanks.
Well then, you got told by Jen. That's like a 4th degree fuck you. So we're gonna go to the last one here. It's another Facebook post. Ray says, to me, they should fill all gays bars and blow them away. Maybe parents should really do their job and teach their children how to become men and women. Period, comma. Nobody is born gay. Space, period. They are made by their own parent. You got a boy, teach how to become a man. You got a girl, teach how to become a woman. Ray, I think you are in the 3rd grade, and while I personally try to avoid swearing in front of children because I love to encourage them to really just kind of branch out and expand their vocabulary, but it's quite clear, Ray, that both your parents are siblings, and their parents before them are siblings, and in fact their grandparents are probably at least siblings, maybe close cousins to sibling parents. I'm not totally sure, but I'm willing to bet that there are chromosomes within you that are just not necessary.
Merged. They're definitely merged. But are we forgetting the basic logic here of it's straight parents that create gay children?
Yeah, that's the miracle thing. Is if people really didn't want gay kids, and there should be no reproduction period, because
then stop having kids.
Because gay kids are always going to be the product of male and female.
Gay kids have always been here. Gay kids are always going to be here. You can go back into the earliest recorded history of human beings and see that people were gay. And in fact, in higher Roman and Greek societies where they deeply prided themselves on religion, being gay was reserved for highborn folk.
Yeah, but didn't they also kind of have that really weird NAMBLA thing going on where they like kind of took the young boys under their wings and it got
I don't know if it was kind of a NAMBLA issue or the fact that they didn't live as long back then. So it was like marrying a girl at 13 you kind of wouldn't blink an eye to because they wouldn't live to be like we are in our 80s and 90s very frequently.
Okay, I can deal with that.
So 30 became like the new 8, like 13 became like the new 18, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm kind of confused in that little period of time. But
You and me
we
both.
have another breaking what the fuck story out of Orlando.
Oh, good.
Police are searching for a 2-year-old boy attacked by an alligator and dragged away at a Disney hotel near Orlando, authorities said. The incident
Disney
happened
World.
during movie night Tuesday. Disney World. The incident happened during movie night Tuesday on the beach of the Grand Floridian Hotel, a very well-known hotel. The family was relaxing at a sandy area near the Seven Seas Lagoon on the property. They were just wading around in the water along the lake's edge at the time the alligator attacked the child, Orange County Sheriff Jerry Deming stated. Based on my 35 years of law enforcement experience, we know we have some challenges ahead at this time, he said. We're not leaving until we recover the child. The family is apparently a family of 5, 2 parents and 3 children, vacationing from Nebraska.
Now, Nebraska.
The movie was being screened on the beach that evening.
Wait, what movie were they watching? Because that might have provoked the alligator
They didn't
attack.
say.
That
They
might
didn't
have...
say, but there was recently another alligator in Florida that was found with a human body in his mouth. A dead human body. And he ate him alive. It was a local homeless man, and he ate this man alive.
That's sad.
I'm going to take a stab here and say we're fucking up this planet so bad that alligators are eating us.
You know what? I think we've eaten enough
pretty much
alligators.
left them
It's time
without
for them
food.
to rise up.
Yeah. It's, they're fucking tired of crocs, okay? No, wait, that's a different animal, never mind. It's late, ladies and gentlemen.
So before we wrap this up, I want to just kind of do a special little thank you to our listeners. Over the last little bit, we've seen another little spike in our attention on Facebook. And,
And you guys are fucking awesome, man.
Well, I know then that I speak for both of us. I know I speak for both of us when I say this means the world to us. Like, we started this because we just kind of wanted to see what would happen, and now that we see, people are out there. And
it was fun, and it gave us a reason to bullshit and argue points, and without looking like 2 self-righteous assholes in a text message.
And we made some cool friends along the way. We met Chris Hanna and David Ticho before we really kind of...
We made some really awesome friends along the way.
And so we want to thank them, even if Christopher Tanner likes to cut me off mid-sentence. We want to thank all of our listeners and everybody who's come onto the show, everybody who's sent us a message, words of encouragement. You guys fucking rock, to put it bluntly. You guys really kind of make this, this lax commitment worth it, and are the reason why, instead of saying, well, we could go another couple of weeks without an episode, you guys are the reason why we do keep at it. So
we're like, okay, no, we got to get this shit done. Let's get it done.
Exactly, instead of being lazy motherfuckers.
Because we don't want to let you guys down. So if it wasn't for you guys, we probably would have done like 3 episodes. Been like, yeah, okay, we're not doing this anymore.
Exactly. So thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. It's been an amazing show.
Really hard. Amazingly angry.
We're the Angry Atheists tonight, even though that name's already been taken and copyrighted. Anyways.
Anyway.
You motherfuckers
Let's help Karen get into her Vicodin cabinet. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night, everybody.
The Not Another Atheist podcast experience is run by Jenn and Keith. If you wish to contact the hosts, please write to nehehp@gmail.com. They can be found at facebook.com/NotAnotherAtheistPodcast, or search Not Another Atheist Podcast on iTunes and Stitcher to subscribe and leave reviews.
So for Jen, I'm Keith, and we are signing off. Have a good night. Nope, that was a shitty ending. Fuck that.
That really was a fucking shitty ending.
Let's try that one again.
I'm picking up my panties and I'm going home. Okay?